Good afternoon and welcome back to Girded with Truth. Thank you so much for joining us today as we continue our series Discovering Me. Today we're talking about who I am. Yesterday, as we started to speak about who I am not, because we need to understand who we are not before we understand who we are, we went into Galatians chapter 4. And just to recap verse 7, it says, "Wherefore thou art no more a servant, but a son. And if a son, then an heir of God through Christ." So we know through Christ, we have become sons of God. Romans chapter 8, verse 18 to 21 says, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who had subjected the same in hope, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God." So here we are learning that even though we have to suffer in terms of subject our flesh to fasting and prayer and all these things, and we may not want to, we are learning that even though we suffer in that moment, it is not compared to the glory that will be revealed in us. When we have come into knowing who we are, when we have come into the place where we can walk in our purpose, then we know for certain that there is no comparison, because God's love, God's purpose is revealed in us. So we are no longer slaves or bondage to sin. We are now made free. And we see that the entire creation awaits for the manifestation of the sons of God. And we learned yesterday that we are no longer servants, but we are sons. What a privilege it is to be a son of God, where He can be our Father and bestow love towards us, and we can walk into our destiny knowing that God is with us. Before we come into alignment with the will of God, we are subjected to vanity and to sin and to all these things that are not pleasing to God. But when we have come into the understanding of who God is, and we have been revealed and His glory has been revealed in us, we begin to walk in purpose, because we are no longer in bondage of corruption, but we have been made free. We have been liberated as children of the Most High God. What a privilege it is to be a child of God. And we know that the glory that is going to be revealed in us is to have us go forth into our destiny, go forth into our purpose, go forth into who we have been created to be. John chapter 1 verse 12 says, "But as many as received Him, to them gave He power to become sons of God, even to them that believe on His name." So here we are seeing now, all we have to do is to receive Christ and allow Him to change our lives in order to step into who we are and walk into our destiny. As we discover ourselves, we know that we have been made in the image and likeness of Christ. But what does that really mean? It means that He made us to be His children. He made us to be His sons. And how do we become His sons? By simply believing in Him. And when we believe in Him and we come into connection with Him and we develop a relationship with Him, He gives us power. He gives us power to become the sons of the true and living God. And all we have to do is to believe on His name, believe in Him, believe in the reason why He came, believe that He loves us, and receive that love into our hearts. And we will for certain no longer be servants, but we will be sons, because who we are is directly connected to who created us. And God created us in His image and His likeness, but He created us for a purpose. So as we begin to understand who we are, then we can understand what we have been called to do. So it's only when we understand who God created us to be, then we can understand what He created us to do, because doing flows out of our being. If you are disgruntled or frustrated today, it means because you are not doing what you are called to do. But the reason why you are not doing what you are called to do is because you have not been who you were designed to be. You need to be a son of God, a child of God, in order to walk in the fullness of who you have been created to be. So today, I'm encouraging you to connect with God, to say a simple prayer and not just believe on Him, but receive Him in your heart. And as you believe on Him and you receive Him, you will walk into your destiny with boldness, and you will know for sure that God has a purpose for your life and He has formed you for that specific purpose. As we discover ourselves, we will discover who we are. Let us continue to discover me today as we discover who I am. I am a son, I am a child of God, and I have been created for a purpose. So, as we connect our Heavenly Father through Jesus Christ, then we can walk into our destiny with boldness. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.